Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web. This is a bit of a different sort of video. I went to visit a friend of mine, Karina Kantas, while she was over here from Greece. Now, Karina is a self-published author. She's a virtual assistant online to help other self-published authors, and she's also a fellow sufferer of fibromyalgia. She was diagnosed about 4 years ago or thereabouts. So what you're going to see very shortly is a video where we have a chat about all these things, her books, her experiences with being a virtual assistant, and her experiences with fibromyalgia. The idea being is anybody who's interested in becoming a self-published author will hopefully get some use of this, whether it be an idea of what being a self-published author is about and pitfalls of it, to information about how you can contact her if you'd like her to be your virtual assistant for a month, and then to spread a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Spread a little light and a bit of awareness around the subject of fibromyalgia as well. I got diagnosed about 6 years ago, and I think it was about a year or two afterwards that Karina was diagnosed. So that's it. That's what you're going to see in the next just over 30 minutes. We did have a problem, however. I forgot to erase some of the stuff on my memory card, and it suddenly cuts out. So sorry about that, but I hope you enjoy the video anyway, and there will be a few pictures and things like that of her book covers and various things. So sit back and enjoy. Right, so as I said, I'm here with a friend of mine, Karina Kantas, and we're going to be having a bit of a chat about her career as a self-published novelist. Okay. And virtual assistants for
and
writing and anything else we can think of as we go along. Okay. This might be. This might be her racing. You never know. She's got a mouth on her like a duck, I'm telling you. Anyway. Right, so when did you start racing?
You know, then they say sometimes, oh, as soon as I could hold a pen, no, it wasn't like that. I think I started writing poetry and short stories without taking it seriously, just having a very wild imagination when I was in my upper school, which, if I remember right, in the UK is about 13 to 16.
High school is 11 to 15, but
there we go.
Well, 11 to 16, I think it is.
Yes. So that's when, and it was actually my English teacher, because I spent one summer doing this project. And I did all the borders all pretty around the paper, and do you know those, what they call those tie clips, they were like a lace, but they had the two little metal things, and they kept all the pages together.
Yes, I know what you mean. I can't remember.
I can't remember what they're called either. Laces of some sort, anyway. So I had it all made into a book, and I was so proud of it. And I spent all my summer holiday doing it. There was poetry, short fiction, short stories. And I gave it to her just to have a look at, just to see what her opinion was of it. And I got it back with red marks all over it, from spelling and grammar and sarcastic comments of her own opinion about how the story was going. And she actually turned around to me and said, "You'll never make it as a writer."
Don't you just love confidence building?
And oh God, yeah. And it was that that made me think, well, I'll show you, and I did. So unfortunately I didn't remember her name when I first published, otherwise I would have sent her a copy of my book with many thanks for your for getting me into doing this.
Actually, sometimes a reaction like that to something usually is a good trigger.
It is. It just makes you, it's not an incentive, it just makes you want to prove to yourself, and not necessarily to her,
Yeah.
but to yourself, that you can do it.
Well, you've got to have that bloody-minded attitude. And if you don't have the confidence in the first place, it can knock you for six. That's one of the problems.
I think when I first started, yeah, I didn't have any problems with my confidence. When I was had my first printed
Excuse me?
printed paperbacks, and I'm over in Corfu, so I don't live in the UK anymore. And I was actually going around to the bars and selling them to the tourists, and I would just strike up a conversation with anybody and talk about my books like I was an expert. I knew what I was talking, I was full of confidence. And then something happened personally, and I lost all that, and yeah, so I had to build that back up. But
well, I can actually state for the record that Karina's definitely not proud. She don't talk to anybody. Let's face it, she talks to me. So you've had quite a few books published now. Do you want to tell us a bit about them? And,
I have
them all. I know what they're like.
You haven't had all of them yet. You've got one more to get. Yeah.
I had a pre-copy, remember?
Oh yeah, yes. You had what you were my beta reader. You were my first beta reader. You have beta readers, which are readers that get to have either the first few chapters or even the full book to read and give their opinion on how it's going. And then you have readers, only 2 or 3, that get the ARC copy. Now the ARC that's before it goes to publication. It's been formatted, edited, proofread, and this is the final. So I'm getting to the stage of that for my 8th book. I've been self-published. I've also been published by a small press, so I've done both ways. With a small press, they just don't have the funds to market and promote the books like the big names would have. And as a self-published author, it's completely on you to find new readers, to market and promote yourself. That takes money, that takes time and a lot of effort, and you can't, all these people that go into it that wanting to make money, you cannot make money as a self-published author unless you're lucky enough to get yourself an agent. But if you're lucky enough to get yourself an agent, then more than likely 70% you've now got yourself a mainstream publisher as well. Those people that think they're going to make money from it, you don't. I mean, the competition now, from when I first started, there was no such thing as ebooks, and it was all paperbacks. And everybody wanted to have an agent. Everybody wanted to be published by a mainstream publisher. And then Amazon came out with the Kindle.
Other ebook readers are available.
And they took over the market, and all of a sudden everyone was a writer, whether they could write or not. Everyone was a writer. And unfortunately, it put the serious writers like myself in the same category as other indie writers that never bothered with editing or grammar or knew how to write, but just wanted to say, I've written a book. So that makes it even tougher for very serious indie authors. But yes, I'm on my 8th book now. It's coming out on March the 12th. You can pre-order it from Amazon, and it's called Illusional Reality, and it's a romantic fantasy for new adults. And I have a 4-book series, motorcycle outlaw thrillers. Think of Sons of Anarchy, Hell's Angels. That's a 4-book series. That's called The Outlaws. I have 2 short story collections with flash fiction, poetry, prose, excerpts, and writing exercises, a bit of everything, all different genres again in 2. And then I have my young adult supernatural thriller, Stone Cold. I think that's all of them for now. Yes.
We'll have to twist around.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. The plan is there is 3 books for Illusional Reality. Number 2 is already written, but there's no plans of publishing it until we'll see how number 1 goes, because it is such a polluted market now. There is so much competition, and whether indie authors, yes, we are all trying to help each other, but no matter what people say, we are in competition with one another. The competition is huge. So depending on how Illusional Reality goes, how it's taken, how the reviews are, is whether or not I'll go to publish number 2. Yes.
Well, you're going to have to, otherwise it's going to be very short in a trilogy.
Well, I mean, yeah, and the beta reader, the first beta reader that read it, she said to me, she was on the phone to me, she's in America, she said, I'm literally jumping up and down here. I've just finished it. You got to write a sequel. So basically the way it ends, no one's going to let me live unless I wrote that sequel. Well, it's written, so I'd have to publish that sequel. But whether it's a number 3, I don't know. But we were talking a while back here. Anyway,
yes. And you've had a good artist on one of your books, haven't you?
I have, yes. I did a contest. I did a contest where it was for another short story collection called Undressed. And when you think of the word undressed, as you know, there is so much erotica around. People will automatically assume that's what it's going to be about. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted something on the cover that related to them, that it's not erotica, but it's also not... Basically what Undressed is, it's me being as open and as naked about myself and about my writing and about my past, as being as truthful as I can. And that's why it's called Undressed, because I am undressing myself for the readers who are already fans of my work and want to know more about me and where my warped mind comes from. So I did this contest, and I had a few entrants, and as soon as Stephen sent his in, that was it. It was just like, yeah, that's the one I want, straight away.
There's a cover, a picture of the cover just about there now.
Wonderful, here you go.
Hovering in between us.
There we go. This is Undressed. Well, let's hope it is now. It's going to look really strange, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it will be hovering just about there.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So, you're also, as you were saying, virtual assistant and helping other self-published authors.
Yeah.
And what does that entail?
Why did I start that as well?
Boredom.
Yeah, boredom, no. I got to the stage where I wasn't enjoying reading anymore, and I wasn't particularly enjoying writing, whereas Illusional Reality, it was ready. So I didn't really have to do any writing except to go through my edits and 4 or 5 times. So because I'd lost my love for writing and for reading, it was a case of I'm promoting all my stuff anyway, So why not to do that for someone else who doesn't know what they're doing?
Yeah.
And we're not talking just about first-time authors. We're talking about authors that have had 1 or 2 books out, but has never got their name or their books out there because they've never had the confidence or the knowledge of how to do it. Now, I've been in this business for 20 plus years, so I've seen the industry go from so many changes, and I have the experience and the knowledge, and I'm still learning. I mean, at the moment I'm having a pause now from my duties for a couple of weeks, and I'm starting to do a new marketing plan, because everyone is following everyone. Everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And if we really want to get our books out there, we need to come up with a new way of doing it that someone hasn't thought about or hasn't been utilised, which is why I do the narrations. I just find that it's, instead of people listening to a full audio book, and instead of people watching a book trailer, it combines the two.
Yeah. And
just for that 5 minutes, the viewer sees this book coming alive. So it's not utilised enough, so this is what I've started doing as well. Very small 5-minute excerpts of authors' books, doing book trailers as well, and of course the VA duties. The actual VA duties is a month long. I basically, as well as taking over their Twitter and Facebook page so they can continue writing, because it takes a lot of time.
Right.
And if someone wants to write book 2, they can't do both.
No.
So they've got that knowledge that I'll be doing that and they don't have to worry about that. In the same time, I'll also be teaching them my tricks, so that when the time comes and our contract has ended, they're able to go out successfully and do it themselves with confidence. And then the other times I'm hired is when someone has a promotion, like Valentine's. I had 3 authors. I was working for 3 different authors over the Valentine's weekend. That was yeah, that was fun, to say the least. And they just hire me for a week or a weekend, so that I can really push this promo. Maybe they've given a free book, maybe they've done it 99 cents, and it's me who gets that book out there and hopefully gets some sales. So yeah, I really do enjoy that. It takes a lot of time, but it's the feedback I'm getting from the authors and the thanks, and that's what makes me want to carry on doing it, because I know I'm doing something and I feel like I know what I'm talking about. They are really happy that they've had me and I've showed them and everything, and it's just a really, really good relationship, and all of my clients have now become really, really good friends. So
that's what you want more than anything else, isn't it?
That's it, it's lovely.
It's always an added
really, really
bonus.
nice, yeah.
And so if anybody's interested in hiring you as a VA,
Yeah,
what would they go about that?
you go on to Facebook and look for K Kantas, that's a big K, big K again, ANTAS, Author Assist, and you'll find my business page on Facebook, and you can contact me on there. Also, I have an author page on Facebook. It's just Karina Kantas Author, and you can also contact me on there if you're interested in any of the services.
Well, the addresses will be in the description bar anyway, so.
I changed it because I had Karina Kantas private page, Karina Kantas author page, and I thought this isn't going well, so it's now Karina Kantas and Karina Kantas author, so people don't have to get them mixed up now. But yeah, I'm always happy to talk to my readers. If anyone's read any of my books and wants to discuss them or wants to know more about them, YouTube channel, which here is the address. And
it'll be in the description because you can't click on the.
You can
Go for it.
Yeah. On my YouTube account, you'll see all the trailers that I've done already for other people, as well as my own readings and narrations for other people. There is Reading Roulette, where I without looking, pick a book, one of my books, on one of the pages. Huh?
And shoot it.
And shoot it?
Yeah.
What shoot it? Reading Roulette.
Yeah. I thought it was something like Russian roulette, where you pick a book and shoot it.
No,
No.
it's vegan.
Something completely different?
No. Yes.
Just thought I'd ask.
So yes, yeah, without looking, it's you pick a book, you pick a page, and I read that out. So I don't even know what I'm going to be reading. And then there are many trailers and narrations and lots to see on my own channel. So yes,
Plenty to do.
plenty to do. Yes, plenty to do and see. And on the Facebook page again, all the trailers are on there. All the links to all the books. Nook, Kobo, Kindle. You can read it on your phone, Sony, iPhone. You can read it on your computer, your tablet. No excuses not to get. And of course, if you don't go for the digital, you can get them in paperback. That was like a little butterfly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Very
thank you.
little. Now, one thing I do want to touch on. That's a completely different story. We both have a little something in common.
We have a lot in common. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, you know.
Do you want to tell them how we met?
Well, the necklace that she's wearing should give some idea. It's a
Zoom in. Zoop. I hope you recognise it.
We originally met in an MSN group to do with Lord of the Rings. Now
It was the official Lord of the Rings UK fan club.
Yes, and I love the books, but you're more
I
for
love
the
the
movie.
films.
Now I don't think the films.
And I thought the books.
No.
No, we didn't clash, but we had difference of opinion.
Yeah.
But that's how we.
But that's how it works, you know.
Yeah.
It can't all be the same.
We can.
Um,
That's it.
but
And that was how many years ago?
oh God Almighty, 14, something like that. 14, 15.
Yeah, maybe. And we've met. Oh, excuse me. This is the third time we've actually met. We talk.
I think in as many years, isn't it?
We talk. We talk on the phone every single day. We Skype maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So, you know, we've been friends for a very, very long time. But yes, getting to a more serious matter, yeah, we do have something unfortunately in common. And I was actually diagnosed with this condition by Stephen, because he's had it a lot longer than me and he recognised all my symptoms. So then, of course, I went online, I did my research, and I didn't go to the doctor with, this is what I've got.
Yeah.
I just went, yeah, that's wrong, they don't like that. I went to the doctor and just explained what was going on with me, and she just clicked and went, you've got fibromyalgia. And that's something we've...
And unfortunately, it's a case of, well, fortunately for you, you had a doctor that recognised the symptoms. I didn't. I was going through it about 10 years.
I had
someone
it,
actually put it down.
I had it 5 years before it was diagnosed.
Yeah, I was putting up with it. I got diagnosed 6 years ago, but I've been putting up with it
For
as
a
it
lot
were, for
longer.
about 10 years prior, before someone actually turned around and said, yeah, that's what it is. And it's
that's the way it starts. Even now, I mean, so many people are being diagnosed with it every single day. But back then, it wasn't. There was no such thing of it as fibro. It was made up. It's all in your head.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. And then when the doctors started saying this is what you've got, the only reason they did that is because they ruled everything else out. And so you were left with fibro. But it's only over the last few years where they've actually, it's now...
Well, I think, isn't it about sort of 2 or 3 years where it's actually been official?
It's not.
It's officially identified as a
in
condition.
the UK. In Greece, unfortunately, it's not. So we're still fighting that one over in Greece. But for those that don't know what fibromyalgia is, the easiest way to describe it is a condition that affects the whole of the nervous system of the body. So you're talking sight, hearing, smell.
The way I describe it, stand in front of a wrecking ball, let it hit you full force, and then try and go for a walk afterwards. That's the best way to describe it.
There are a list of maybe 20, 30 symptoms that are in with this condition. And because there is no cure for fibro, what their doctors are doing is they're trying to knock off, oh, you have severe insomnia, we'll give you this. Yeah. You have chronic pain, try that. You have, and they're trying to, but when you have 50 different symptoms, you're not going to take 50 different tablets.
Exactly.
It's enough, I mean, if you see the cocktail of drugs any person with fibromyalgia has, it is a cocktail of drugs. And it's not a cure, it's not helping, but we take it because that's all they're giving in us. So I think it's basically acceptance, living with it, but it's not easy. It gets worse over the years.
Yep.
Your quality of life it can almost come to a standstill if you allow it. I mean, there are days where you cannot get out of bed, no matter how much you want to. You cannot get out of bed. You've got no energy. You're tired. You're hurting so much you cannot walk. And then there are other days where, like we've done today, we've been able to go out and have a coffee.
But the problem is, on those days, 2, 3, 4, possibly 7 days afterwards, we will pay for it.
Even on the good days when we know we can do things, we still have to be very, very careful what we do, because like Stephen says, we will pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah. So the key to it is to carry on, to try and get yourself into a routine where you're doing the same things day after day after day. It's the most boring way to live. But unfortunately, if you feel better one day, don't try to do more than what you could do
even if you think you can,
because it will drag you down afterwards.
It will. And it's not just one day, the next day you're in bed, you can't get out. It hits you, like you said, like a wrecking ball, and you're out for 3, 4, 5 days before you can actually feel like yourself again. But it's living with chronic pain. That is the worst thing. How can, I mean, you go, a normal person does a jog or an aerobics and they're hurting the next day. We live with that. People don't realise what chronic pain is unless you experience that yourself.
Exactly. And it's not just chronic pain. There's lots of different symptoms. Memory loss. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but I feel as though I'm coming down with some form of dementia because I can't remember anything. Like the other day when we were talking to you, I had not a clue.
Alzheimer's. I mean, people say, oh, don't say that, you don't know what Alzheimer's is. And I agree, I don't. And I know that is a very horrible, horrible situation. But when you're our age and suddenly you're talking and then you don't know what you were talking about, or you can't find the word you were talking about, or okay, you come in a room and you're trying to find something and you've lost your keys. That's normal for you. For us, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And 10 times as worse. But the worst thing about it is when you are trying to articulate and to get something out and having your own, having my own children finish my sentence. That is really awkward for me. Having my husband do the washing up, having him put the washing on the line, having him sweep the floor because I'm not able to do that.
When he's finished, send him round to mine.
Yeah, yeah. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I know people don't have the help that I have, so I am blessed in that way. Fibro has taken my life, taken the quality of my life. I'm no longer the wife I wanted to be or could be. I'm no longer the mother that I should be. I'm doing what I can, and my girls are absolutely amazing and they're so understanding, but that doesn't make me feel any better because I know I shouldn't what I should be doing, what I can't do.
And the other side of that one is their child has been removed because they're having to grow up a lot quicker to look after you. Well, it should be the other way. It should never be the child
looking after the mother.
Parent. It should always be the parent looking after the child.
And Sophie has. I mean, my eldest, she had to grow up.
Yeah, and that's always a bad thing.
It went from being diagnosed and just having a bit of pain now and again to the following year of almost not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
And then it was the acceptance, and then knowing your limitations, and that does take time. I mean, that took me a long time.
Yeah.
So you accept it, you know what you can and you can't do, but even then you are forced in situations where you know you shouldn't be doing this, but you are forced into the situation of doing it.
Yeah.
Like a 4-hour drive up to Northampton.
Well, down to Northampton. I wasn't forced. But yeah, that's the scary part when you're actually driving long ways on your own. If it wasn't for the sat-nav, even if I knew my way down here, there are times where, and I don't know about you, but I've been driving somewhere that I know very well. I could have been driving from my home to my dad's, which is a journey I do twice a week at least. And there's times when I've got so far, and then for that brief moment,
You're like, where am I?
I don't recognise anything around me. Where am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? And then all of a sudden it comes back to you. And that really is enough to...
It's scary.
It's very, very scary.
It's very, very scary.
And,
It is.
But that's just memory problems and the pain.
Then you've got the severe insomnia. I mean, I don't sleep till 5-6 o'clock. Yeah, no, that is.
Yeah.
It's 5-6 o'clock in the morning when I do drop off. I could yawn, but if I tried to sleep, we'd just be laying in bed wide awake until whenever. So we keep our mind going until it's ready, but then you don't get any symptom to say, right, now you're going to sleep. All of a sudden you're reading or you're on your computer and next thing, and you wake up and you were like, oh, I was in the middle of sending a text, you know.
The amount of time I have actually woke up to find the word QWERTY stamped on my forehead where I've just gone face planting the keyboard. It's... You
have to laugh, I'm sorry, you know. You've had your weeping, you feel sorry for yourself because it does take away your life. But then you accept it and you get on with things, and every year is going to get worse. More and more less things you're going to be able to do. But for now, you can do this. So enjoy it, do it.
As far as I'm concerned, if it wasn't for my sense of humour and some good friends around me, I would be simple as that.
I unfortunately lost all my friends because I live in a Greek village and we only had a certain group. I unfortunately lost my friends when I became ill. They just, not one by one, that was it, they were gone.
As far as I'm concerned, not friends.
Well, there's that. Now I can count my friends on one hand, but I know
that's only because you can't count past 5.
So I know they don't live near me, but they will make the effort to come and see me. I know if I need them, they're there. And then I have my best friend forever, BFF. And because we know what each is going through, and we're always there for one another, and I think that helps a lot. I think it does.
If you've got somebody who can understand the situation you're going through, it helps all the more, no matter where they are. And
I mean, people have still got a stigma against with this. You know, it's a mental disease. It's all in the head. There's nothing wrong with you. How can you be okay one minute and look at you? You're not ill. That is the worst thing when people come up to you and they say, "Oh, you look well. Are you feeling better now?"
And that's when that happens. I can feel my fists clench as soon as somebody says that to me.
Why should you have tears in your eyes just to make them happy and understand. No, you have a smile on your face, and not for their benefit, but for your own benefit.
Yeah, if you didn't have a smile on your face.
But that doesn't mean that you're not in pain. That doesn't mean that when you get home and you might cry yourself to sleep at night, because you do. You know, fibro is a horrible, horrible illness. There's no cure. There is no way of saying, why did you get that? How did it happen?
It can come from some form of trauma, like a car accident or a bang to the head, anything like that, a virus. It can come from anything.
There's just not enough research, and this is another problem, and this is what I want to speak to the camera, to you people now about. There are places where you can go and donate money and start raising funds. Yes, I know there are thousands.
I think we've got a bit of a problem. I think the thing is full. Flashing.
I saw that flashing. I wondered what that was.
I think we might have lost a lot.
A lot, eh?
From when it started flashing, I'm just saying.
Why didn't you charge the battery?
It's not the battery, it's the memory card.
My Name is Fibromyalgia by Terry Bean, read by Stephen Barr. Hi, my name is Fibromyalgia, and I'm an invisible chronic illness. I am now velcroed to you for life. Others around you can't see me or hear me, but your body feels me. I can attack you anywhere and anyhow I please. I can cause severe pain, or, if I'm in a good mood, I can just cause you to ache all over. Remember when you and energy ran around together and had fun? I took energy from you and gave you exhaustion. Try and have fun now. I also took good sleep from you, and in its place gave you brain fog. I can make you tremble internally, or make you feel cold or hot when everyone else feels normal. Oh yeah, I can make you feel anxious or depressed too. If you have something planned or are looking forward to a great day, I can take that away. You didn't ask for me. I chose you for various reasons. That virus you had that you never quite recovered from, or that car accident, or maybe it was the years of abuse and trauma. Well, anyway, I'm here to stay. Oh, I hear you're going to see a doctor who can get rid of me. I'm rolling on the floor laughing. Just try. You'll have to go to many, many doctors until you find one who can help you effectively. You'll be put on pain pills, sleeping pills, energy pills, told you are suffering from anxiety or depression, given a TENS unit, get massage, told if you just sleep and exercise properly, I'll go away, told to think positively, poked, prodded, and most of all, not taken as seriously as you feel when you cry to the doctor about how debilitating life is every day. Your family, friends and co-workers will all listen to you until they just get tired of hearing about how I make you feel and that I'm a debilitating disease. Some of them will say things like, "Oh, you're just having a bad day," or, "Well, remember, you can't do the things you used to do 20 years ago." Not hearing that you actually said 20 days ago. Some will just start talking behind your back while you slowly feel that you're losing your dignity trying to make them understand, especially when you're in the middle of a conversation with a normal person and can't remember what you're going to say next. In closing, and I was hoping that I kept this part a secret, but I guess you already found out, the only place you will get any support and understanding in dealing with me is with other people with fibromyalgia.